Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to my students. As I told you in my previous lecture, that exercise and chapter number 3 has been finished, and we are going to start the new chapter and the fresh chapter, and that is chapter number 4, which relates to statistics. And the topic is the heading is collecting, organizing, and displaying data. This all deals in one word, and that is statistics. And you know statistics, what does statistics mean and how do we collect the data. Before going to that, I must tell you that I was not very well, so I was out of the recording. So you see that we are doing this book, uh, Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics, um, Core and Extended Course Book, which is written by Karen Morrison and Nick Hampshire. So we are at the Unit 1 and Chapter 4 now. Let me write the name of the Chapter 4, and that is collecting, organizing, and displaying data. Now, what is data? Data is the plural. Data is plural. If I say it in English, it is plural. The singular is datum. Datum. It is singular. Okay. Anyway, uh, why we collect data? You know that from time to time we have to need to collect data. For example, uh, we have to undergo the general election, so we have to find the people, how many people are there in our country, and how many people are there in one constituency, and how many there people are there in one mohalla, or what there in one street. And so all these things we have to collect, and we have to organize some uh, teams to reach to each and every house and collect the information and data from them. So collecting data is the very first thing which we do in our statistics. And then after the collecting data, and this is not only the case that we have the general election, we have also to find data in the students, where are the weaker students, where are the brighter students. So we have to find each and everything. And what is the, we have the tool, and that is the data collection. So so that the data collection is very imperative tool, and we use it at, in different ways. Now the scientists, what the scientists do, they collect data, they organize it, they infer something, they use some statistical tools. The statistical tools maybe that are in our course, or that are not in our course, the pie charts, the histograms, the, and there are many formulas, and mean, median, mode, whatsoever these are in the statistical tools, and they infer something out of it. And when a scientist leave its research at somewhere, the next scientist carry on the research from that very point. So data collection is very important thing which we have to study now. But before going into detail, before going into the exercise, we don't have any detail in the chapter, and it is beyond our scope of study. So I am going to tell you some things which are related to these this chapter. Now there are two types of, basically there are two types of data, and one is called the qualitative data and other is called the quantitative data. So it is qualitative data, qualitative data, and other is the quantitative data. Quantitative data. Qualitative data and quantitative data. Let me explain in few words what is the qualitative data and what is the quantitative data. Let me draw a tree diagram for it. Now, what I told you, the types of data. My dear students, the detail is beyond the scope of our study. So I am going to tell you some words about this. So if I go in, it will be qualitative. You know the word quality. Now qualitative comes from quality. What is the quality of anything? What is the quality of this code? What is the quality of this pen? It is black. It is about 3 to 4 inches long. And again, yes, my coat is also black. My shirt is blue. These are the qualities which are attributed to my shirt, to my coat, to my jackets, and to uh, this marker as well. So these are the qualities. And what about the quantities? So it will be quantitative data. Quantitative data. Quantitative data. Now, how much are these? 1. About my jacket, 1. About my shirt, 1. So this is quantitative data. It deals with the quantity. It deals with the quantity, where it deals with the quality. Okay. Now it is also called categorical data. It is also called categorical data. It is also called categorical data, and this is also called numerical data. It is also called numerical data. I told you how much are the pens? 1. But now 3. Okay. So you see the quantity. The quantity means how much number a student get in mathematics. The number of the students getting 6 out of 10 are this much. The students getting 7 out of 10 are this much, and the students getting 10 out of 10 are this much. This is the quantitative or numerical data, whereas categorical data is the age, is the height of the student, it is the color of the students, it is the uniform what they wear. So these are the uh, data, the qualities of the houses, the and the uh, outlook of the houses is the quantitative data. So in quantitative data there are two more branches, that are normal data and ordinal data. These are normal data and these are normal ordinal data. In whereas this we deals with discrete and continuous. Discrete and continuous. You know what is discrete? Discrete is, you see that when we just jump from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 to 4, 2 to 4. It means that we are jumping. We are not uh, in the middle way. So we'll call it discrete. One example I can give you also, that we have either on or off. We have either on or off. we are sitting or standing, or there is sun or shade. These are the discrete data. Whereas the continuous data deal with where the continuous thing is going on. The car is going, the train is going, the watch is the second hand of the watch always keep on moving throughout the clock. So it is the continuous data. So my dear students, this is the all detail which which is in your book. So we don't will go into further detail before going. So we don't go into the further detail. So we stop right here. Uh, there are the differences between normal data and what is the normal data and what is the ordinary data, what is discrete data, what is continuous data, but we need not to study these in this exercise or in this chapter. So if it comes, I'll tell you. So now there are methods of collecting data. There are methods of collecting data. Let me recall you that what are the method of the collecting data. There are primary sources, primary data collection and secondary data collection. Primary data, what is the primary data collection? Let me tell it to you on the whiteboard. Now again there is type of data. You can also say the type of data and methods of collecting data. So there is primary data and secondary data. Primary data is the data which is collected by the investigator, the team which come to your house, okay, and he asks you or he gives you a performer to fill it. That is the primary data. The name, your father's name, your wife's name, how many are the children, how many rooms are there in your house, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. So these are the primary data, and the it is collected by the person doing the investigations. It is collected by the person doing the investigations. They give you a performer, or they just write it in their own register to collect the data. This is very useful form of data collecting, and it is used in census. As I told you, when the elections are undergoing, uh, and there needs to be that how many people are there in the society, there how many people are there in the um, one constituency or in the whole Pakistan's constituencies. So therefore, the data collection and the number of the persons, number of the person above 18 years and number of the person below 18 years, all should have to be collected. So this it is very important tool. Now the other is the secondary data. Now these data which investigator or investigating team, you can say investigating team collects the data and they submit to their office. Okay, now what the office do, they compile it. They compile it in the way, and they use some statistical methods to compile it, to reproduce it in graphs, it in the tabular form, in the graphical form, or whatsoever they wanted to do. So that is called the secondary data. The data collected by stored by someone else and accessed for the investigation, और उसके बाद उसको know how the data how the data is collected. The data is collected by investigating, by experiments, by measurements, by observations, and whatsoever uh, the the sources we do have. Uh, Sometimes the data is collected by means of mail. but that is very weaker uh, way of doing the experiment or to collect data, because I know that the 50% of the people do not remail it back to you. So the very useful thing is that the teams come to your house. Either they are polio teams, either they are the census teams, or whatsoever they are. They collect data from house to house, from person to person, and they submit it to their office for the secondary part and to infer the details from them. So, how we organize them? First of all, there is a way to organize which is called the tabular form. Which is called the tabular form. Now, tabular form means to make the table out of it. To make the table out of it, and for instance, we have conducted a maths test. We have conducted a maths test. So what we going to do is that there are 20 students. The maths test is contested within the 20 students. Okay. Now there are 20 students, and the numbers, the total marks was total marks of the test was 10. As I told you in my lecture, during this lecture, total marks are 10. Okay. Now we have checked the paper. We have checked the paper, and we are going to form it in the tabular form now. Now we'll just make 2 rows out of it and some columns, as many we need. Now this is what we call column. Like the newspaper, the best example for the columns is the newspaper, and the books which are written in the rows. Books are written in the rows, whereas newspaper is written in the columns. Though there are rows in each column, so this is the column and these are the rows. These are the columns. Okay. Now we have to find my dear students, you see that there are two. There are how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In Excel it is very easy. And how many rows? There are 2 rows, 1 and 2. What we write here is score and frequency. Now what is frequency? Frequency is what the things came repeatedly. That, for example, if some students got, let me say that 4 students got 4 numbers each, then it means that the frequency be 4. 4 students mean 4 frequency. So score. Now let me write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these are the number out of 10. The student got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is the frequency? The frequency be 3, and for the it is 4. It is again 3. Okay. It is 5 and 2 and 3. Now what do we infer from this table is that there are 3 students which got 1 number. There are 3 students which got 3 numbers. There are 4 students which got 2 number. There are 5 students which got 4 number. 2 students 5 numbers, 3 students 6 number. That means our model class which came the best out of it is the 5 students which got 4 numbers. It doesn't mean that they got the best numbers. It means that this 5 number is the number which is the best in this frequency, not in this score. The best score is 6, the frequency whereas is 3. So we call it the model class. Okay, now students, let me further proceed to another table, which is the table showing the ungrouped data. What is ungrouped data? Let me first prepare the table out of it.